What's happening, people? Welcome back to another episode of Red Divided. Myself, Tommy.
You got Addy here.
You got myself, aka ESR. What's happening, boys? He got his call up. I keep saying it, yeah. I keep saying it to you, lot, yeah. Our friends might not listen to this podcast. Our lovers might not even listen to this podcast. But the universe is listening to this podcast, bro. We speak about someone, and less than a day or two, like remember, we spoke about Edward. He goes and gets a double as soon as he comes on. I speak about ESR last week and say I don't honestly personally believe he deserves the call up now. But obviously, more games than that he will. What does Gareth do? Couple injuries, get in there, ESR. So yeah, super happy for it. And I'm even doubly happy that you got some minutes on the pitch as well. So, yeah, man.
That was So one thing I was concerned about the other day, actually, I think. So I was watching the under 21s. Well, I actually don't know the full squad. I actually said I was going to check. So to check the full under 21 squad. But Mason is not on getting called up for the under 21s.
Yeah, Mason don't get called up for the 21s though.
This doesn't make sense.
Yeah, Mason don't play for the 21s though.
Yeah, I think it's a choice not to play international in it. That's the full choice.
That's the only concern. Is like maybe he's deciding that I did not want to go because fair enough, you don't want to get like Gareth is not calling him up. Doesn't mean you stop playing under 21s.
Yeah, I think it's a general discussion as opposed to Gareth not picking him. I think it's a general, like, proper discussion that he's not going. So
yeah, because I saw that I was watching the under 21s yesterday. I can't remember what day it was anyway, and I realized the guy Balogun was at top. Balogun. I was saying that as if I'm yeah.
That's what you boys be doing. I keep watching you every week and just thinking, where are these guys from? Just embarrassing.
Yeah, for Larry.
The way I said it to Balogun. Yeah, so he was on top.
He scored.
Thingy.
He got his first goal on 21.
So I was quite surprised, thinking, what's going on? And then obviously I stopped watching the under 21s, I'll be honest. But then I heard a commentator saying he was stepping in for Brewster. Like Brewster. So what?
He was.
Bro, is that who they call up right now?
He starts for them. He's their number one.
Ryan Brewster starts.
He's their starter. He's their starter. Forward.
And before Brewster was started, it used to be your guy that was ahead of him.
Eddie.
Yeah, Eddie was ahead of him.
Yeah.
So it's just like why is not that is concerning now though. I can understand him not being in like I don't mind him not going to for England call up, but not getting called up for under 21s.
But you know that you say it's concerning though, Tom. Yeah, I've never actually given it any thought because I always knew that he doesn't play for the 21s.
He does play for the 21 before.
No, but I'm saying I haven't seen him in the last year since I've seen him like burst onto the scene and I've started looking at him as a proper United player. Yeah. I just see that if Gareth don't call him, then he just chills in Manchester.
No, but I think go down. This is only started after that incident with Foden. He was getting called up for the under 21s before that. So after he had his first call up,
he ain't gone back down since.
He hasn't played since.
Yeah. But that's a decision they probably made though, that he's too good for that level, so he's always going to get picked for the senior team. But he's probably had a conversation with the family, like Gareth said, and now it's just like, okay, I'm not ready, or we're not ready for you. But you're not going to do 21s. Just stay at United and keep playing at United.
This is the problem with Gareth, right? He's inconsistent with his decision making. If you're making that decision about Mason, what about like Emma Smith Rowe? Like, no disrespect. He's obviously, look, I'm not trying to say he shouldn't get his cap. Obviously, it's brilliant he got his cap in it. But if you're calling ESR, why not? You're calling bloody. And I'll be honest with you, I'm not like I've watched Tammy. Tammy hasn't played the best at
Roma.
I've watched Tammy. Tammy missed bare chances, bro. I've watched Tammy at Roma. You're calling Tammy up all the way from Italy.
But it's not a talent thing with Mason though. It's not a talent thing. There's got you might want to, but it's not a talent thing.
It's not a talent thing.
This is why I say it's concerning. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, because obviously, I only say because you're obviously saying you don't see it concerning. But this is what I say is concerning because fair enough, you're not getting him for the normal squad. All fair dues, don't call him. But if you can't play on the 21s too, so what is actually going on?
Yeah, I think they've just chosen that he's not gonna go on it. They probably had their discussion whether they feel he's not mature enough or whatever. Maybe his parents feel it's best for him not to, because obviously last time he went on international duty was the issue with what's his name?
With Phil.
With Foden, but Foden's a bit more mature. He's a bit more experienced with that, so it might just be a decision that we're just gonna focus on a few things and then get back to international stuff later on.
Yeah, that's like, you know what, it's probably it. But like, I didn't really think too much into it before, but it's only until I realized recently that he's not playing under 21s too. And it's not, as I said, it's not as if like the guys on the under 21 levels are like better than him.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think they're going to dispute it. He would he's somebody that could fit into the senior squad. So I don't think it's ability wise. I think it's a discussion they've had about something more than football. And yeah.
And then you sound a bit away from your thingy, your the anchor.
Yeah, because the anchor's on the floor now because I'm
Don't
trying
worry,
to do everything. Because everything's confusing me now.
Yeah, that sounds much better now, you know.
Yeah, it sounds much better. But you know what? If the most important thing is it's the audio in it. So
yeah, because I'm doing exactly what I've done for months, and things are acting up. So I'm just doing everything I can.
No, that's fine.
It's good that this is organic. We're letting our listeners know insight into our struggles. You know what I'm saying? We're all one family, innit? It's not just Ade, Tom, and Ham on this, innit? We're all one family with the listeners, innit? So you guys got to go through the struggles with us.
Yeah, go through the struggles. So
even though we're almost like 80 episodes in, and we're still fucking up.
But you know what? Yeah, it's just a fact that I didn't say he's doing the same thing that he's been doing. So at least they know the technical issue that we're having and why we haven't uploaded on YouTube anyway. But we'll get in there.
Basically, our podcast is like United. We've been doing the same thing for months. There's been no results. Like you see, this is where United is.
But you know the funny thing is that I've listened to a couple of podcasts that are backed by they're backed by big names. And their sound is horrific.
Yeah, I was you know horrific. Bro, I was watching one the other day and I was thinking, oh wow, so I was thinking we're bad. But to be fair, our sound is like normally the audio is normally fine, but the sound is it's not great. No.
Yeah, I've been thinking you are backed heavily by some big names and your sound is like this. I'm like, no, that is poor.
Yeah.
But
that's cool. Yeah, and that's now just for I'll bring that up because I noticed that the other day. I'm not too sure whether everyone else noticed, but I will look into it before the next round of.
But if you want to sponsor us, fans, can buy us apparatus that we can use going forward.
There's not. I mean, with that there's no international call-ups until March anyway.
Oh
so all Mason can do is keep playing his football, get his head down, and focus on will he make the squad for the World Cup, Qatar. At this moment in time, he's not. At this moment in time, he's not going to the World Cup.
Yeah.
But I respect if he decides I don't want to go to the World Cup. Like it's not for me right now. I'll respect that as well.
But would you respect that from if he's not mentally fit a day? That's why you think it's not for him, or do you think? Because I wouldn't respect it if I think he's what I think of him as a player, and he's English. For him to say I don't want to represent my country, I wouldn't rate that.
I don't think that's an issue. No, I don't think that's it. Especially if it's not that I never want to represent. It feels that I'm just not ready. Like we shouldn't force people. If we're saying everyone has a right to what they want to do in life, he shouldn't just have to play international football at this stage if he feels.
You don't think so, though? You don't think so?
No, I don't think so. I don't think if we're saying people have the right to choose, like every man and woman on the road has a choice in their life. Why is he different?
It's a privileged footballer out there.
Nah, bro. Nah, he's still a human being, bro.
I just think he has. There must be some issues with Gareth.
There are people out here committing suicide. So if he doesn't feel he's ready, it's don't. If you don't feel you ever want to play international football, don't play.
Yeah, he was ready at one point though when he got called up with Phil though. So
that's what it is.
But I'm just making a statement about it. Like if you feel you're not ready, he's been in that spotlight. It didn't go well. If you feel it, you need to take a step back and fully take your time. Like football, yes, we all love football, but there's more to life.
Yeah, no, I get that. When you look at it from that perspective, then yeah. But if you look at it from a stone, I'll let Tom go after that. If you look at it from a stone cold football like aspect, he's a 20-year-old playing for Manchester United. He's got God-given ability. He's a talented player. He's had a good start to his season. United have been shit. He's been good. And it's an opportunity to play for your country. And like Tom said, our number 9s aren't pulling up trees. Fair enough, he's playing from the right, but he's, Tammy's not pulling up trees. DCL's injured. If it's a call up there, you're a shoo-in. Like Tom said, ESR's getting called up. Conor Gallagher's getting called up. You're a shoo-in to represent your country. I can't get my head round why he wouldn't want to do that.
Yeah. I guess definitely as fans and people that would love to be in his shoes. But yeah, there's a lot to life. I
don't think it's just him. I think it's just probably like whatever stemmed from the last situation. I don't think they've been able to resolve that because they can't really justify why it shouldn't have been in the squad ever since. Especially the players, some of the players that we're bringing up now are in the squad. So it's hard. Yeah, I just think.
But they've said they've had a discussion. They said that's
the good thing. Gareth,
as opposed to just England not picking him, they've said they've had a discussion.
Yeah, I just thought it would at least play under 21. But Ham said, look, there probably it might be a thing where you know what, you're too good for that level. That if you can't make it for the seniors, then just stay out. Train. And said they probably had a discussion with Ollie like, look, I don't want him to play a level of below. If you guys do not want him, where I think he should be playing, it might be down.
100%.
Yeah,
100%.
It's cool. What do you guys think of the?
Yeah, can we just morph? I mean, we spent a lot of time on Mason. I thought we'd be talking more about my boy that got the England call up. We're talking about a boy that didn't get a call up more than we're talking about the boy that got a call up.
I just want to bring it up. But yeah, what in terms of Emil, what he got like 10, 15 minutes or so? Did he get? He got about 15, 20. I must say the second half was like, I really don't like it, man. I hate it when teams just take the brake off the gas, regardless of what the scoreline is. And I feel like that's what England did. Because France went to bite them like 8-9 or whatever it is. And Germany did the same thing. So it's just, I'm not really a fan of that, man, because I missed the first half, but I was so upset watching the second half. I was like, why did how am I missing the first half?
Was scintillating.
But in terms of, he didn't really, obviously, he's got a call up, well done. He's done well. He's probably been one of like Arsenal standout players so far this season. And as you discussed already, Ham, that you still feel like there's a lot more to expect from him. And you didn't think he should have got the call up, but I think, like with everyone else around, you can't really, I don't see why he shouldn't, especially with the injuries.
With the drop.
With the injuries, it's probably the next best we have. So, and especially easing form. I think that's more important. I think it's worth crediting players sometimes when on form. Like, not credit them with like taking them to tournaments, but with like international games like this, Albania, wherever they're playing, that is worth it. Like, then go out and express himself. Hopefully he gets a taste of it and knows and he goes back and work hard and probably wants to come back. I'm guessing so. Because I saw his interview and said that he takes Saka. Saka was gas for him. Which was nice to hear.
It's a little Arsenal invasion going on there. We're just keeping it on the wrap still. We're waiting for Benjamin to get called up into the next one. I got 4 players in there, and there are going to be 4 players in there as well. So little Arsenal invasion going on there. I know you lot got the most, didn't it? I think you and City got the most that represent England.
I don't know.
Obviously, if all your players were fit, it would be Luke, Harry, Rashford, Jaden. That's 4, right?
Oh, yeah, it's 4. Yeah, I think that's the only 4 we got, right?
Henderson,
and then obviously Henderson
will hit the bench.
Henderson, Okay. So I think you and City got the most, didn't it? So little Arsenal invasion going on down there on the hush. Quite. Conor Gallagher, though, what we saying though? Conor got called up, bro.
That one I was happy with. I'm not gonna lie. Like, as much as I like Emil, I thought Conor deserved it a bit more. So when they called up Emil, I was like, you know what, that's a bit unfair. Like, you've been playing well, but I think Conor should have gone first. But
because now Rashford got injured, didn't it? I think the attacking option replaced him with Emil. Yeah.
So, but now it's Conor's getting his chance. I'd be surprised if he
Super
doesn't
deserved.
play
Super
against
deserved.
San Marino and score against San Marino. So yeah, it'll be a good start. It'll be a good start for him if he touches the pitch, which I expect him to, in all honesty. But that's the thing. I don't know. It's gotten to a stage where I'm not gonna lie. I feel as if everyone's getting a cap though. Like, I'm not saying Connor and Emil don't deserve it, but I feel as if literally everyone's got a cap. Like, I'm waiting for mine now. I feel as if it's just everyone.
Are you still playing football, Andy? Are you still playing football?
I play FIFA, I play Football Manager, I play fantasy football.
Oh, bro. I hear what you're saying though, Ade, because I do feel like back in the day when we were growing up and watching football, it felt like the England players had to work hard to get their caps. You know what I'm saying? Like they had to work, like the strikers had to be banging like 20, like 2 seasons in a row.
Or if you were in it, like Heskey, you were there to make someone else bang in 20 or 30.
It just felt like it was a lot harder.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's the good thing about Gareth as well. Is just that he's giving all the players like hope that if you're playing well, irrespective of your age, if you're doing your thing, you can get called up to this England squad. So there's pros and cons to everything in it. But
I agree. I think they're just the right time. I think it's time and read. I think this is probably the right time with the round of games that we have, with the injuries that England has got, to give just like the young boys just a taste of it. So at least like it's something just to go to motivate them and go back and train and knowing that, you know what, this is the level I need to get at, especially when they're playing around the players ahead of them. So like the Jack, Grealish, the Foden. So this guy knows what the heights they need to reach in order to get into the squad regularly. So I think this is probably the right time. But I feel like, as you said, that I agree with you. Gallagher was the one who's more deserving of things because it's not just this season. He played really well last season.
He was brilliant. He was brilliant at West Brom.
Last season. But obviously, he went under the radar because of the issue. Obviously, West Brom got relegated, right? But and he started really well this season. So he's one who's probably a lot more deserving. And I think with Emil, it's just a talent, really. If you know what he's got, and you can't deny he's been playing well for late. Yeah, there's probably more we're expecting from him, but it's just more hope thinking if he does reach his potential, like only God knows what this boy can be. So, but it's just the timing. I agree with it at this time around, but and in the other sense, as you said, look, everyone's getting a cap, and maybe just slow down on that.
Do you feel that they're basically auditioning for like the Michael Carrick position where you're going for the tournament, but you're probably not going to play?
No, I just think with Gareth, and I think a lot of managers will do this, and a lot of like I said, my brothers watch this, and a lot of my brothers would have played at certain place. I think a lot of managers would do things like you might get called up, but you might never play, but it's just for them to have a look at you in training when you're playing against the top level. Because think about it.
Yeah, but they call some younger ones without
giving them a call up.
Because like Trevor,
I know.
Like Trevor, he goes very often. Very often.
I think that might be it though.
No, to touch on that, Ramsdale is probably the perfect example. He's actually in the squad regularly now because he was one of the ones that they were calling up for actually a cap. Then they took him to the World Cup. I mean, so the Euros, he got into the squad for the Euros because of injuries. So I think one thing that it does do, it gets you familiarized with like the players that are in the squad regularly. And yeah, it's just like Ham said, isn't it? Just to get a feel of how you are. And when opportunity just turn up, see whether you take it or not, to be honest with you. And he's been doing that for a while now, Gareth.
But I think with Connor, I think he could, in terms of the two of them, in terms of him and ESR, he could actually stay in that squad and make himself a stayer in there in terms of like, if we're going to take 4 centre mids, which Gareth probably will do, then the fringes of that 4, because we know what the 4 is, isn't it? Rice, Phillips, Henderson and Bellingham, that's his 4. And then he picks James Ward-Prowse. I like James Ward-Prowse. I don't have a problem with him getting picked as a 5th one. But then if you give me a choice of James Ward-Prowse and Connor, I personally am going to lean towards Connor, innit?
So in that 4,
if you ask me right now,
mention Mount.
No, I put Mount maybe higher up because I'm talking about the 4, because he plays 2. He plays 2 cities.
That particular.
So the 2 cities. So there's 2 starting and 2 backups, and then there's like another 2 backup behind the 2 backups.
If you ask me right now,
so I think on form, Connor could push.
If you ask me right now, I'll take Prowse. I'm a big fan of Prowse. And
Yeah, I
I think
like
it's
James
because
Ward-Prowse.
it's
I
because
like
he plays for
James Ward-Prowse.
Southampton. But to be fair,
And
I
his
think
dead
James
ball
Ward-Prowse is a good
ability
player.
is just second to none.
Yeah.
I was with my brethren at the West Ham game, and I mentioned James Ward-Prowse. He said, "Get the hell out of here, bro." Talk about James Ward-Prowse, get the hell out of
And I
here.
think that's
But
the
he's very
problem.
anti. My brethren, you know, there are a lot of black brothers. You know, a lot of black
Yeah.
brothers. What I realize here, they're very anti like players that do the right things, but they're not extraordinary.
Yeah.
Like two of my favorite players, Michael Carrick and Tom knows this. Michael Carrick, one of my favorite players. Like just fuck England, just all time. He's just superb for me, isn't it? And Jordan Henderson. Neither of them do anything extraordinary. But guess what they do? They do the fucking basics right almost 9 times out of 10.
Yeah, I think what you're saying is true. I think a lot of guys, if you're not a superstar or haven't been crowned a superstar, then you're not relevant. Which, yeah.
Player don't have to drop a stuff. I understand Jude is a super talent, isn't it?
No, he's ridiculous.
Jude's a super talent, yeah.
But
every player is not, every centre mid is not going to be Jude.
Yeah. And sometimes you need that functional player to actually cement the team. Like, you're going to get, you might have 98 players non-stop, but they might not win that World Cup without the 60 player or the 75 rated player
100%.
that does what they need to do. So, yeah.
100%. Paul Scholes is a top player. Him and Michael Carrick together, they look better. I'm saying they look better because Michael's in there. Because Michael never loses the fucking football. But yeah, no. But good luck to both of them, though. Good luck to Connor and
good luck
Smith.
to them,
I hope they both get minutes against San Marino.
They're many years ahead. Many years.
Yeah, many years for them.
Yeah,
many years ahead.
Yeah. Because I think about it. Emil hasn't had a. You know, Emil already burst onto our team in December. It's not even a whole year yet. He's had a whirlwind of a year, bro. Burst into our team through injuries and kept it. Signed a new contract. Got the number 10. Got called up to England less than a year.
But you know the thing with that, when you've been putting the work in, it tends to happen to you like that. Do you know what I mean? So it's the work, like, because obviously, despite him playing in Huddersfield and so forth, like, he's clearly been playing football and like you can tell. So there's one thing just sitting on the bench for how long or being playing the under 21, the one you call it now, under 23s for, and coming into the scene. It's probably harder. But when you've actually been playing football, and like, as much as we might look at the championship as the level below, that's a hard league.
It toughens you up, isn't it, man?
And it toughens you up.
Emil disappeared as well for a bit, right? After he made his debut, he disappeared for a little bit before he came back into the reckoning.
So it's probably the right,
When I saw him first, I was like, I like this boy, but then he sort of disappeared for a bit before he came back, and I like that also because it shows that maybe it weren't the time for your sustained run in the team. You go back, you make a few tweaks, learn a bit more because he's still young. And now you're ready. I expect big things from him.
I remember when I saw him at Huddersfield, I think, this guy's still out and grafted. I remember I saw him and he was one of the standout players of that day. So well done to him, man. Sometimes things just happen to you fast, isn't it? But obviously, that's the perception, right? People that don't actually watch football outside the Premier League, you think, okay, right, it's the person who's seen what he has been going on loan to other schools. And I think where was he before the schools? It was somewhere else, right? And he's done more for himself. So.
Yeah. Prime example is Calvin Phillips, though. You look at Calvin Phillips, a lot of people question why did Gareth pick Calvin Phillips. You watched him for Leeds in the Championship. The guy was a demon, bro. The guy was a demon in the middle of the park.
Yeah.
Gareth was always going to pick him. Other managers might not have picked him because he's not playing for the top 6 and his centre mid is a big position. But Gareth watched him clearly and he can do the job that I need to be done, whether he plays for Cheltenham or Man United, he can actually do the job. And I believe in that. And I rate managers like that have spotted a player that can do a specific job, irrespective of who he plays for.
Yeah, because even before I actually started watching Calvin Phillips, it was Tommy obviously used to talk about him a lot. But then because I used to drive a lot during that period, I used to hear his name a lot on TalkSport. And they always said that if there's anyone that can break into the England team, that they think it's him. And I didn't even know who he was. I hadn't really watched him particularly much at that point in time.
Yeah, it was a documentary, and they love him in Leeds. If you watch, they absolutely adore him.
Yeah, they adore him, man.
Yeah, so
that debate's gonna go on forever, man. Because every time I bump into someone, My bridging at work, obviously, I go into the office twice a week, innit? So on a Thursday, my CA receptionist and then my other boy that works in another team, but we all work on the same floor. They're both hammers, innit? So obviously, I tell them that I've been to like the last 3 or 4 games and that, yeah. So we've been chopping up about the hammers, and I always throw to them, yeah. So what you not saying though? Like Declan, is he worth 100M? And then I always throw so who's better out of Phillips? Obviously, they're hammers, innit? So they're never gonna say like Calvin's better, innit? But that debate's going to run on, isn't it? And obviously, Declan's been amazing this season. But it's going to be interesting to see who gets... The point I was making is who gets the move and where they go next. Because I don't know if Rice stays at West Ham.
You're breaking up.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Is it for me or just Adam?
I can hear him. I can hear him clearly, yeah.
All right, cool. Go on.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, I'm just saying, in terms of both of them, it'd be interesting to see where their next moves are, because they do look like loyal players. I wouldn't be surprised if Rice said, I'm going to stay at West Ham, and Phillips says he's going to stay at Leeds. But if they don't, then who do they go to next, and how much do they both go for? Will be an indicator as to how the footballing world sees both of them.
Yeah, it's good times ahead. It's everything's going to be positive anyway. I can only see positiveness coming from this.
100 million, Man United. Pay the money for Rice, man.
Rice called Beans knee.
Yeah, and I think Philip is a better talent. For the better, we discussed that. I don't want to go into it, but for United, I think
the functionality.
Yeah, I'll take that. Yeah. Cool. What are your thoughts on the game anyway? Quickly before we move on.
I don't want to talk about the game. I want to talk about Harry Maguire. I want to talk about Harry Maguire's celebration. What the fuck you not thought about it? I don't give a fuck about the game. I want to know what you not thought about the celebration. And 2, what did you think of Roy Keane's comments? Over to you, boys.
I think Harry cleared it. Maguire's cleared it up.
What up? He didn't clear
I
nothing
don't
up,
care about that.
bro.
No, I want to know what
he
yeah,
just
what he said.
He spoke.
Yeah,
that's not clearing it
forget
up.
about. I want to know what your initial reaction was, and then what you thought about Roy's
in terms of that, I didn't see the goalness. I didn't see the celebration. I only saw like so I couldn't really give an initial reaction. So I only saw the follow up reaction, and saw Roy Keane and I heard Harry clarifying saying that it just was a celebration. But I heard what Roy Keane saying. I can't disagree with what Roy Keane. If he did mean that, then it's nonsense, because bro, it's not as if you've been playing well. So what's the point of that gesture? But we don't like. Only him can tell, and only him knows whether he actually genuinely was trying to send out a message.
He meant that shit. He was
saying, I'm fully with Keane. Dumb ass. Like, what's all of that? You ain't celebrating like that before, so why are you celebrating like that now when you're under fire? Stupid guy. And then he comes out and starts talking nonsense. No, you have been rubbish. And this is my problem. Like, it's very short-sighted, and I'm disappointed that he didn't realize that as well. Just because you score a goal don't make you good. You get me? Or doesn't mean you're performing. Just so you scored a goal, you now did. Focus on defending. Be a good defender first. Don't get excited because you scored a goal against Albania when everyone was scoring.
And I saw the highlights. He made a mistake straight after, right? When he allowed the guy to be on side. So yeah.
Albania didn't even come to play in that game. They didn't come to play.
Oh man.
And you're doing airs. You're sliding and doing airs. Shut up.
So Roy Keane said it was embarrassing.
Yeah, and I agree.
Would you go that far? Would you go as far as to say it was embarrassing?
No, if he definitely meant the gesture, like only him knows. But I can't not what Roy is saying. If he meant, it's embarrassing, bro. Like you've been clearly terrible. So you can't now just like. That's what I say. I don't know what he meant, but if he does, then I can't knock Roy for everything he said. Like that's right. Like it's embarrassing, bro. Like what are you trying to prove? Like. And the worst thing about it is you're not playing for Manchester United, you're playing for England. No one cares about that, bro. I don't same thing we say about when Pogba plays for France, I'm not French.
C'est baby, c'est pas bon, c'est pas c'est la vie.
I don't know what all this we stuff, bro. I'm not fresh, bro. I don't care what Pogba does for France. Like, and the same thing with it. Like Harry, like obviously with England, like yes, I care a lot more for England. Like obviously wanting to play well for England, but bro, it's embarrassing, bro. Like it's not as if like you could just go as Ade said, just because you scored a goal does not erase the shit that you've done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It doesn't do that. It doesn't automatically erase the shit you've done. It's not what.
Maybe if you do it in the Champions League final,
we
might forget, bro.
Goal, you know what I'm saying?
Bro, it's not even important. Like if it was Champions League final,
it was important. It was important. It was the first goal. What are you talking about? It was important. We all know the most important goal in football. Bro, it's the first goal.
Albania didn't come to play.
Bro. And that's why I told you I was mad disappointed in the second half. Bro, I don't like this. Take your feet off the gas shit. Like
if you can score 10, score 10.
10, score 10. Go and score 10. It's just it's in terms
good
of
old Harry.
Yeah, Maguire, like Roy Keane is right. That's what the only thing with Roy is he's always got it. Majority of the time, he's always speaking his truth. The only time I feel like he's been a bit hesitant speaking his truth is against Ollie.
It's Ollie. That's his boy, isn't it?
Apart from that, like Roy Keane's gonna say exactly how he feels, man, and you just have to respect it. It is embarrassing, bro.
I tweeted as soon as I saw it. I tweeted saying Harry celebrating that goal like someone that's heard all the criticism, and they got a couple of likes and retweets because it's the truth. And as soon as I saw him score that goal, and he was watching the game, as soon as I saw him score that goal and do that celebration, I knew he was gonna get bollocked at halftime. Innit? I knew the reaction on social media and in the studio, especially with Roy, was gonna be that exact reaction because we all know what a knee slide and a hand to the ear and cupping it.
Yeah,
we all know what that means, innit? It's basically saying, yeah, what you saying now? Like, we say now, pussy. We say now, pussy. And like you said, his performances for England are never under question. Great tournament. We went to the semis and a final. Harry hasn't put a foot wrong in both tournaments. So we're not questioning that. So like Tom said, it's not even like it's for United. Like if it's for United in the Manchester derby that you scored and it was the winner or the equalizer.
And the thing, and you know what it is, Hammer? Everybody knows it. The best way to like apologize to the fans or something is to score a goal in like a big game. And it's all forgotten.
For your club.
Yeah, for your club. It's all forgotten.
We didn't see you against Liverpool and Man City. Yeah, doing
the guy was chopping 7 back to back, and he's the Indian chopped 7 goals. No, man. It was definitely. You know what? Yeah, and what makes it worse is the captain of Manchester United that's doing that. You know, if it was like a Wes Brown or just a useless player, that's good for England. I don't care. Paul Parker. No, that nobody sends a play for Man United and England. Yeah, he's the captain, bro. But I don't want to spend too much time on it because he scored. He done a celebration. We all know that it was bullshit. He's got to get back to basics for United, and he's going to go and chop more beating because I think you guys are playing somebody decent again.
I think we got Watford next, right?
Yeah. Then after that you got
Chelsea.
Is it us and Chelsea?
Yeah, Chelsea first and you guys. Yeah. We need to make something happen. We need to make something happen for that our game, though. We try and watch it together. That would be nice.
What day is that?
I'm only watching it if Ollie's still there. If I'm not watching it, I'm not watching it if Ollie's not there. I don't watch Man United if Ollie's not there.
I'm not sure what day it is, but we're trying to sort something.
2nd of December.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's a Thursday.
Midweek. That's midweek.
That's a Thursday. Yeah, I knew that was gonna happen because someone said this about how our games are no longer big games no more, and that just backs it up.
Europa League.
Yeah, why they're putting us on a Thursday?
That's a Thursday.
I'm still gonna be hungover from the Wizkid concert.
Yeah.
I ain't watching that match, bro.
Yeah, that's mad. Why are we on a Thursday? Yeah, that's crazy.
No respect, bro.
That's
no
crazy.
Respect.
We'll sort something out anyway. All right, cool. Let's move on, man.
Oh yes, one of those Amazon ones. Yeah.
Oh, you're taking a piss. One of those apps on Amazon.
Yeah, no, every fixture that round is on Amazon. Every single one. Yeah.
Oh, that's perfect, man. I ain't even gonna watch it. Oh, yeah, cool.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Just talking about England, one of England's legends, Stevie, Gerrard, each is appointed as Villa manager. I actually had a long conversation with one of my friends about the appointment, and he didn't think that was the right step for him. And I disagree, and I thought that was a great step for him because either way, you're not going to a top club, even if like the Premier League is too much and it doesn't work out at Villa, that's fine. Like you can always take a step backwards in order to go forward again, right? But Villa, I think Villa is a decent. I'm not forget them sacking Dean Smith.
Yeah.
Like that's obviously
Dean Smith got himself a new job anyway.
Yeah,
he's Norwich manager.
Stevie didn't make that decision. He's in Villa now, and I think that's probably the right step. What are your thoughts on it?
Go on, Ed, I'll let you go first.
I don't know. I thought it was a bit risky, you know. Like I felt, you know, for me, right? I'm always on that side of, can you just chill a bit more? But I appreciate and I understand that people sometimes think they won't get that opportunity again. But I'm always like, maybe just one more season, take that extra